about the fact that the Comité has been working for years through the community to get immigration reform. And as the community has been meeting through these assemblies that we've been having to talk about these issues, the fact is that the people want a deferred action. They realize that we don't have time to wait for immigration reform. That right now, as we sit around having these conversations, as they meet in Congress and they meet in the Senate and they talk about immigration reform, families are being torn apart, that young people are being taken away from their parents, that people are living on the streets because they have no place to go. I'm glad to see a diversity here of people coming to the table, because it seems like for the last 10 years I've seen a lot of just Latinos at the table, but the situation that's happening now is a replay of what happened historically to the African Americans. It happened historically to the Native Americans. It happened historically to the Asian community. And these things, we're starting to realize that there's a lot of threads that keep us together. And the fact that race has been used as a form to economically separate people to gain. We look at these right now, these detention centers. Right now, they were talking about the hunger strike. There's a hunger strike going on here in Tacoma, and these people are not asking for immigration reform. They're asking for food. They're asking for to be paid for the work that they're doing. They're asking for affordable food that they could purchase on their own. They're not asking for luxuries or cable television or a better bed. They just want the basic necessities. They want dignity. They want respect, and they're willing to go so far as to go on a hunger strike. And it's not just happening here. It's happening in Texas, in Alabama, in different centers. These people are acting out because if you look at the privatization of the immigration detention centers, we look to see that organizations like the GEO Group have been coming together to hire lobbyists, to pass legislation to fill beds, to keep people incarcerated, to keep people behind bars. So what is happening right now, and it's been the first time in who knows how long, it seems most of the labor, the community organizations, the national organizations are coming together and they're in agreement that we need to stop deportations. There's been over 2 million people deported under President Obama, and it's time to stop the deportation, and that he has the power he has executive power as the president to stop deportation, as he's already done for 1.7 million young arrivals with the DACA, with the DREAM Act, known as the Dreamers. He's been able to do this. Now, what we're asking is that we stop the deportations today. We stop them now. And then we can sit down and we can sit at the table and have a conversation about how we can have a reform, how we can have an immigration reform, how we could have an agreement that benefits the community, that it benefits the country as a whole. But we can't do that while our communities are being terrorized, while our communities are being taken advantage of, while families are being ripped apart. And so, we want to look at taking a step back, having a conversation about immigration reform, but once we get this deferred action. As we know in the state of Washington, that the majority of the backbone of this state is the agricultural community, is the fishing and the service community that are done by undocumented workers. And I'm glad to see that we could come together as workers, for justice for all workers, not just for workers that are documented, not just for white workers, not just for workers of color, all workers coming together under one banner saying that we need that $15, that we need to take a step forward in unity. We need to be united, and we need to stop these deportations right now. And so that's the Comité stance, that we need a deferred action. We need the president to step up and to do what needs to be done. And the trauma and all these things that are happening under his watch is something that we didn't see under Bush. And we know all of the horrible things that happen across the seas and in different places in the world, and now we're seeing it happen here on U.S. soil. And I think it's definitely time that we take a stand. So thank you.